Who is this? His deep, sonorous voice resonated throughout the room, and my body tingled to the sound. I felt his green eyes wash over me in one swoop, and I instantly felt giddy while butterflies began to flap in my stomach. Without trying to be discreet, I checked him out properly. His hair was dark, and his muscular torso strained against his tight shirt, outlining his abs and pecs. I felt myself drooling with desire. I couldn't explain what I felt, but a part of me was yearning for him. His face was dashingly handsome, and my eyes trailed down to his sharp and chiseled jaw. I gawked at his soft lips and began to imagine how it would feel to kiss them. Shocked at my thoughts, I shook my head to push those unholy thoughts away. But the moment my eyes met his one more time, I was stuck. There was no way that he was my stepdad. Alpha Andre raised his eyebrow. He looked pretty intrigued, and I felt the lump in my throat disappear. My name is Olivia. I'm Nicole's sister, said my mom, cutting in nervously. She is my sister from a distant pack. I stared at Nicole, stunned. She didn't want him to know that I was her daughter. Screw you. I yelled angrily at her, and she gave me a death stare. I ignored it and turned to Andre. I was almost caught off guard by his sparkling green eyes. I'm Nicole's daughter. It seems she left that part out of her resume when she applied to be your wife. From the corner of my eyes, I could see Mom getting red in the face, and her anger was burning hot, but I didn't care. I was determined to push her buttons. Nicole didn't tell me about you. Either way, it is nice to meet you. I felt some confidence stir up in me. I just felt this connection, and it felt like I could say anything to him. Are you sure having a wife you know nothing about is smart? She could kill you in your sleep, you know. I watched as his smooth lips curled into a smirk, making him more dashing. God, he was so sexy. How on earth did Mum bag him? I watched him as he turned his head to one of the maids who stood nearby, supposedly waiting for his next order. You. Prepare a room for her on the 3rd floor. Make sure it is comfortable. He turned back towards the stairs, and Mum, and I followed him behind. So tell me about yourself, Olivia. You have a beautiful name, I must say. I felt my cheeks get hot. I felt the butterflies in my stomach flutter madly. Well, there wouldn't be much to say if only Nicole had told you about me sooner. I'm done with high school and taking a break year before I start college, and there was not much about me, and my introduction ended after a few sentences. However, I was trapped by his captivating green eyes. More than once, his arm brushed mine, and I felt heated passion fill me up, just waiting to burst out. When I looked him in the face, I caught his eyes looking at my lips before looking back at me. This was torturous. And he was my stepfather. We finally reached the 3rd floor, and Mum rushed to him, pushing me aside rudely. Alpha, I don't think Olivia should stay on the 1st floor. She has night terrors at times and might wake you if she stays on the same floor as you. I was stunned. What was Mum getting at? What night terrors? On the bright side, Andre ignored her and disappeared into a room on the 3rd floor. Mom turned and stared at me angrily. Do I need to remind you that you are here as a guest? You should know your place. I am still your mother whether you like it or not. I glared back at her with the same intensity. Back off. I'm not the one who asked to be dragged here. That was all on you. You planned this with Dad. I took a deep breath, my anger coursing through every vein. Also, I think you are the one who should know their place. You are not my mom. I watched as her face changed into different shades of white. She gave me one furious glare and then headed down to the 2nd floor. After a while, one of the maids walked up to me. Miss Olivia, please follow me to your room. It is ready for you, she said with a small bow and led the way. I followed behind her and dragged my suitcase along with me. I still had my dad's ash jar firmly tucked under my arm, and I wondered if he was watching all of this. Soon, we stopped at a time just a few doors away from the room Alpha Andre had disappeared into. Your room, Miss Olivia. Dinner will be ready in 10 minutes. Please be ready. Here's the key. Do make yourself comfortable. The maid handed me the key and headed downstairs. I was left alone in the lobby. I took a deep breath and stared at the key in my hand. I was here. There was no turning back now. I slotted it into the keyhole and turned it, and with a click, it opened. Nothing could have prepared me for the sight I saw. My room was huge. There was enough space in here to throw a party. The walls were a beautiful pale pink, and a chandelier hung on the ceiling, elegantly flooding the room with light. The reading table was made out of smooth wood, and a laptop and detached keyboard were on it. I dropped my suitcase and walked over to the bed. The sheets were made of rich, smooth and soft silk, and the mattress was so comfy that it felt like I was sleeping on a cottony heap of clouds. Okay, I could get used to this. I got off the bed, took off my clothes, and wrapped a towel around my body. I needed to have a quick shower before dinner. I smelled all sweaty. After the shower, I changed into something nicer and did my hair. The shower gel was expensive and exotic, and I smelled like wild peaches. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. "Miss Olivia, are you ready for dinner? The alpha has requested that you eat with him." I was about to say something, but my stomach rumbled, cutting me off. "I will be down in a few minutes." The maid nodded and walked away, and in a few minutes I was out of my room, heading downstairs. "Miss Olivia, where are you going?" I turned around and saw the maid who had called me for dinner. "I'm sorry. I'm looking for the dining room." The maid shook her head and smiled politely. "I'm sorry. I must have missed something while I was giving you the message. Dinner will be in the alpha's personal room." I stared at the maid with wide-open eyes. "What?" Please download Novels Ago and search the code in the upper left corner to continue reading.